Welcome to the Professional Data Engineer Crash Course. We're cutting straight to the core today with SQL. This isn't just a syntax lesson. It's your foundation for commanding relational and OLAP databases, and your first definitive step toward data mastery. SQL enables direct communication with your data's core structure. It lets you define structures, modify data, query with precision, and control access. SQL was developed in the 1970s and standardized in the 1980s. SQL is the universal language, while the Relational Database Management System, or RDBMS, is the underlying engine. Examples include commercial systems like Oracle and open-source options like MySQL. The anatomy of SQL is divided into 5 specialized sublanguages: Data Definition Language, DDL; Data Manipulation Language, DML; Data Query Language, DQL; Data Control Language, DCL; and Transaction Control Language, TCL. Data types rigidly define the structural blueprints of every column. They include numeric types like int and float, string types like char and varchar, date and time types, and other types like boolean and blob. DDL shapes the structural architecture using commands like create to instantiate objects, alter to modify existing ones, and drop to remove the structural wireframe entirely. DML manages the data living inside the structure. Key commands include insert for adding new data rows, update for modifying existing data in place, and delete for removing specific rows. Guardrails ensure database security and state consistency. DCL, or access control, uses grant and revoke. TCL, or logical units of work, uses commit, save point, and rollback to manage transactions. Data query language, DQL, focuses exclusively on retrieving targeted data. The central command is select, which uses a vast ecosystem of clauses for precise filtering, sorting, and joining. Search conditions act as precision filters on the data stream. The where clause is the filter, utilizing comparison operators and miscellaneous filters like in and between for refined data retrieval. Operator toolboxes execute mathematical and logical transformations. They include math operators, string operators like, logical operators like and or, and bitwise operators. Always follow standard precedence rules. Join operations link isolated tables via related key columns. Types include inner join, left join, right join, and full outer join, each determining which rows from the combined tables are returned. Advanced joins execute complex relational comparisons. A cross-join returns all possible combinations of rows. A self-join links a table with itself for internal comparisons. Combining data requires choosing between stacking rows using union, a vertical stack, or stitching columns using join, a horizontal stitch. Grouping operations collapse scattered data into organized analytical buckets. This is done with group by, often followed by having to filter the groups, and order by and limit for sorting and capping the final result. Transformation functions modify values during the retrieval process. They include string functions like upper and length, math functions like round and ABS, and conditional functions like case and cast. Aggregate functions collapse rows into a single result, for example, sum, avg, and count. Window functions, such as partition by, preserve the rows while calculating across a specific window of data. Window functions handle complex relative calculations without self-joins. This includes ranking functions like row_number and dense_rank, and navigation functions like lag to access data from a previous row. Structuring unstructured data requires specialized array mechanics. Struct organizes diverse data elements. Arrays allow data aggregation, and UN nesting expands arrays back into flat rows. Advanced queries layer logic through nested result sets. CTE, or with, defines a temporary result set. Subqueries test for row presence, and correlated subqueries execute once per outer row, referencing columns. This video has provided a comprehensive overview of the SQL neural blueprint, covering everything from core anatomy to advanced querying techniques.